USS Charles Ausburne is an elite rarity destroyer from the Eagle Union and is part of the Fletcher-class of destroyer. She's available from MOH requisition and some drops from 3-2 onwards. Charles Ausburne was launched at the Consolidated Steel Corporation on the 16th of March 1942, commissioned on the 24th of November 1942, decommissioned on the 18th of April 1946, transferred to the West German Navy on the 12th of April 1960, and stricken on the 1st of December 1967 and scrapped. Charles did the usual tasks an American destroyer did in the Second World War. Here are some of her more interesting exploits. She was part of the strike force designed to interrupt the Tokyo Express, sinking 2 barges, took part in experiments with night fighters. Her commander, Captain Arleigh A. Burke, and his Little Beaver Squadron won a Presidential Unit citation, sank or assisted sinking IJN Sendai and IJN Hatsukaze with Spence and Foote in the Battle of Empress Augusta Bay, sank or assisted sinking IJN Onami, Makinami, and Yugiri at the Battle of Cape St. George, screened for the Essex-class Yorktown in Essex, defended against multiple air raids and sank the IJN Hinoki with 3 other destroyers near Lingyayan Gulf, received 11 battle stars for her service. In her base character art, drawn by Lino, Charles wears a very similar outfit to her other Fletcher-class sisters who are in the Little Beaver Squadron. She wears a sleeveless white and navy blue sailor's uniform with a yellow neckerchief, white and yellow puffy shorts, blue and white heeled boots with anchors on them, a white glove on her left hand, a hair clip in her hair, and one keeping her bangs up, as well as a beret with a feather. Her rigging consists of 2 Quint torpedo launchers on both her sides, connected to a deck which is attached to her waist, a naval cannon on top of her right rigging, and a strap around her left thigh. In Charles's voice lines, voiced by Satsuki Morita, Charles often talks about justice and evil.
指揮官、この邪悪なけしめ。指揮官、この世に正義でないことはまだいっぱいあるから、立ち止まるわけにはいかないよ。正義の仲間はなかなかできないのだ。でも、指揮官はこのオースバーンがいるから、きっと大丈夫。正義の道は孤独だ。同行者がいるのは珍しいのだから、つまり、指揮官が、正義の物語でも読みましょう。物語の正義のヒーローは、仲間たちと邪悪に勝つと、元の生活を選び、それまで戦ってきた仲間を選ぶことが少ないんだ。こういう話を聞くと、いつもちょっと悲しくなるよね。正義な軍事委託、ただいま完了。また戻ってくるわ。正義は必ず勝つ。武器の装備はすべて正義の鉄拳のためよ。これが正義のパワー。正義は不滅だ。私と共に正義の仲間になって。正義は正義よ。正義の力が伝わるのを感じる。この邪悪な指揮官め。フレッチャー級のチャールズ・オースバーンよ。あの有名なリトル・ビーバーズの隊長としてセント・ジョージ岬沖で活躍したの。指揮官も正義の仲間になってみない？正義の裁きを受けなさい。指揮官、一気にやっちゃおう。これは正義を実行するチャンスよ。
At level 125 with everything maxed, Base Charles has 2,164 HP, 88 firepower, 295 torpedo, 182 AA, 218 reload, 205 evasion, light armor, 42 speed, 233 accuracy, 82 luck, 215 anti-sub, and consumes 9 oil. Base Charles has 2 skills and an all-out assault, focusing on buffing the fleet's movement speed and evasion, as well as her own firepower. At level 10, her first skill, 31 Knot Burke, when firing her main gun, has a 4% chance to increase the fleet's movement speed and escort fleet's evasion by 40% for 8 seconds. This has a 5-second cooldown and starts on cooldown. At level 10, her second skill, Full Firepower, every 20 seconds, has a 60% chance to increase her own firepower by 40% for 10 seconds. This brings it to 123 firepower. Her all-out assault looks like this, being procced every 10 times her main gun is fired. At least it fires in a straight line. The recommended equipment for both base and Retrofit Charles is a gun that has a high fire rate and decent damage, such as the single 127mm SK3/34 or triple 102mm BL 4-inch Mark 9. Torpedo launcher and AA gun are recommended to be a Quint homing torpedo launcher and higher rarity AA. As for aux equips, having 2 autoloaders will drastically increase the chances of her first and possibly second skills proccing. If not, then the Ocean Soul camo and hydraulic rudder are good as well. In her retrofit art, Charles has a similar but updated look. She wears a black body stocking underneath her new sailor's uniform, which has red accents, its collar around her shoulders, different pins, and a black cross on the side. Her heeled boots are now a dark gray, her single glove has a strap, her beret has straps too, and her hair clips are new. Charles's rigging has been expanded too. The Quint torpedo launchers remain the same, but have more decks and hulls around them. The connecting arms and her rigging look more futuristic. There is now a naval cannon on her left side and under her arm. DD 570 is on some of the armatures, and there is blue waves around her. To be fully retrofitted, Charles requires 13 T1, 13 T2, and 10 T3 destroyer BPs, 30 T3 torpedo plates, 50 T3 aux plates, a dupe of Charles or a purple bullet, 36.8 thousand coins, and for Charles to be level 90. When fully retrofitted at level 125 with everything maxed, Charles has 2,329 HP, 133 firepower, 360 torpedo, 237 AA, 218 reload, 205 evasion, light armor, 42 speed, 233 accuracy, 82 firepower, 225 anti-sub, and still consumes 9 oil. She also gains a new skill, Beavers Assemble. When at level 10, Beavers Assemble when Charles is sortied with Thatcher, Aulic, Foot, Spence, or Destroyer with a Beaver Squad tag equipped. She increases her own crit rate and damage dealt by 15%. When the HP of one of the mentioned destroyers or herself falls below 25% as a result of damage taken, 20% of the ship's HP, applicable once per battle per applicable ship, is restored. Every 10 seconds, 70% chance to fire a level 10 special barrage, which I do not have because the wiki does not have it. Charles Ausburne, realistically, is not that bad a ship, and could easily find herself in a mid to, I'd say, early late game fleet in my opinion. She has decent stats, can buff evasion and movement speed, allowing for longer survivability. Her retrofit further pushes this, especially with her retrofit skill as it heals other destroyers and fires barrages. But there are so many caveats to her and her skills. Charles can only be obtained from Medal of Honor requisition or from 4 different stage drops, that being 3-2, 4-1, 8-3, and 9-1, as well as some war archives. So when you do get the base version of her, you'll see that 31-knot Burke only has a whopping 4% chance to proc every time she fires her main gun, which isn't too often. So you'll need to build around this low proc rate by giving her aux equips and main guns that make her fire faster. Then there's her retrofit skill. There's 2 ways that I personally interpret this. 1, you will need your Vanguard fleet filled with 2 of the ships that meet the requirements. So Little Beaver destroyers and 1 that has the Little Beaver squadron tag. Or 2, you only need 1 ship to meet the skill requirements. If it's the first, you will consciously need to choose to have a deadweight destroyer, Thatcher being the least worst in my opinion, and another Vanguard ship with the Little Beaver squadron tag, as there's only 1 you can ever get in the game. Or you'll choose to have the skill be deadweight for a decent composition. If it's the second, which I hope it is, then you'll possibly be wasting an aux slot just to get the skill procced, but I'd say that's reasonable in my opinion if it can heal 20% HP from about 25%. Overall, Charles isn't bad, but the retrofit skill could be so much better if it applied more broadly. such as to all Eagle Union Vanguard ships or all Eagle Union destroyers. Hell, I'd even take a Fletcher-class only requirement if I could. Point being, you'll probably find a more niche Vanguard comps out there that make use of Charles, but I personally wouldn't use her too late into the game. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates and check out my other Azur Lane and Arc Knights videos as well.